on the air since 1951. This is The Legend. 105.3, 95.3, WDXE.
I almost forgot to turn everything on while I was listening to you mess with that computer over there.
The news went quick.
It did. I was like, "Holy cow! It's time for the 8 o'clock hour." And Keith Durham's in the house. It's the friends and neighbors hour. Keith is my friend and neighbor, and yours too. And he was gracious enough to make his way in this morning in a blue shirt.
I've always wanted, a blue shirt today. You got a blue shirt on.
And a blue shirt, and a dress shirt at that.
Not really.
I mean,
it's
you're
a
looking.
work,
Well, I mean, I guess it's a work shirt, but I mean, it's kind of a dress casual.
I always wear long sleeves for whatever reason.
Yeah, I used to. I used to wear long sleeves all the time.
I can regulate my body temperature better with a t-shirt and long sleeves.
I guess. If you worry.
Believe it or not, it's not hot.
If you worry about that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't worry about it. Okay, you ever go in a restaurant and it's a little cool?
Oh yeah.
You don't have to worry about it if you got a t-shirt and a long sleeve.
Well, I usually wear a t-shirt, but I'm not always in a long sleeve anymore. But anyway, but yeah. There's a restaurant that we like to go to every once in a while. We like to go over to Waynesboro to Dad's.
Oh yeah.
Over there. They got good pizza. But there's not a table over there that's not sitting directly under a vent that's blowing down my neck.
You're exactly right. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So we usually try to hunt a table that'll
that's part of the sacrifice of going to Dad's Pizzeria is you got to sit under the vent.
That's right. And don't get me wrong, I'd rather it be cool than hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, sometimes that breeze blowing down my back is a little too much.
Yeah, I've been several places. I don't like sitting at the door in places either, where the door opens up. So
yeah, I like to be away from the door.
Yeah, as far as I can get. And I don't like being near the bathroom.
No, don't like being near the bathroom. So we're kind of picky that way, aren't we?
And I don't like being near the kitchen.
I don't mind the kitchen part.
Okay, you want it close to the kitchen.
I don't mind the kitchen part.
So anywhere there's a lot of traffic, I like to be out of the
mean, like for instance, Waffle House, you're sitting in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, you're sitting. Yeah, exactly right. I didn't think about that, and I don't mind sitting anywhere in there. In fact, I went this week. Amy and I had Waffle House earlier this week.
I haven't been back. I guess since me and you were over there. So
it's amazing that if you get out on the town, you get to see people you hadn't seen in a while. I saw Michael and John Black at Waffle House the other day.
Did you?
I hadn't seen them boys in a long time, and it was good to see them and catch up with them and just chit chat for a few minutes. It's hard to think about, but I can remember being in high school thinking, "Oh, we're never going to get out of this place." It takes forever. But this year will be our 40th reunion. I mean, I've been out of school for 40 years. That seems unreal.
Listen, I'm ahead of you there.
I know you are, but I mean, it went by so fast. I mean, where did those 40 years go? A generation has passed.
I know. Listen, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, the other day I'm watching. You can find anything on YouTube that you want to watch. That's why I don't have regular TV. I think you got rid of cable TV too, right?
Yeah, I got rid of it.
Yes, there's so much stuff on the internet to watch, but you can find these things about what happened 30 years ago or 40 years ago, and you wouldn't believe the movies that you think, well, that just came out a few years ago. No, it's 35 or 40 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, one of them that was recently that I thought was kind of interesting is the original movie Top Gun.
Yeah.
Then they had this remake not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I was kind of shocked at how long ago actually the first Top Gun came out.
Yeah.
I can't remember now.
It was in the early 90s.
Yeah, I can't remember now. But anyway, it was back in the 1900s.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy cow.
Previous century.
Yesterday I happened to turn on our sister station yesterday afternoon. I was off in the boonies. I was off looking at some property.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about in the boondocks.
Yeah.
Okay, but our sister station's got a pretty powerful signal. And so I was listening to Eddie Landtroop yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
And he did the deal where, and I'm not really a big country music fan as far as the new stuff. I couldn't hardly name anybody new. But he was playing the #1 song yesterday, the #1 country song yesterday, and I don't even know what it was, okay?
Huh.
But he said, I'm going to do the backwards countdown. And so I'm like, well, I hadn't heard him do that. So what are you talking about? So he played that one, then he said 10 years ago on this day, this was the...
Oh, okay.
And then he did another 10 years. And then he did another 10 years. And I was like, holy cow.
You remembered those.
So
though,
when he
right?
got back to, I think it was 1996,
96.
guess who had the number one?
Garth Brooks.
No, I think I'm wrong about. I may be
Randy
wrong.
Travis.
I may be wrong about this being the number one, but he played this song. It was Barbara Mandrell.
Wow.
I think. Well, I'm not sure. I may have this wrong. He played Barbara Mandrell, but I'm thinking that's what it was. But
Okay.
anyway,
Well, she was
I was
big
thinking.
back then.
I was thinking, holy cow! Hadn't heard from her in like for 40 forever.
Yeah, exactly.
But I remember the song, "Sleeping Single in a Double Bed."
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do.
Anyway,
I don't
and
remember all the
I think
words.
that was the number one song 30 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
Or 40 years ago. 30 or 40? That's
I-
30.
I don't know. Was that not
40.
That had to be in the 80s.
I think so too.
So that was 40 years
Maybe it
ago.
was 80s. Anyway, whenever it was, I was just like, holy
Well,
cow.
you know, I've got Mr.
All this
Google right
time's
here in
gone
front of
by.
me.
All this time's gone by. Anyway, it is Wednesday, March 25th. It's 8:14 to 15. And by the way, Keith Durham's in the house. And if you want to talk with Keith or chime in on the conversation, we will welcome it. 766-9393.
You're fixing to flip out.
What am I saying?
Sleeping Single in a Double Bed was released by Barbara Mandrell in 1978.
78. Well, see, I got it all messed up.
Oh my goodness.
I got it all messed up. Maybe he went back that far. I don't remember.
That doesn't seem
78.
78. That's back in the Ralph Emery days.
Oh,
You
yeah.
probably sang that on
I
Ralph
was
Emery.
thinking about Ralph Emery yesterday.
Was you?
Yeah. I was talking to a buddy of mine. Edgar was in here yesterday.
I heard Edgar.
And then he and I went off and had breakfast together, and we were talking about it. He had no idea. He had no idea what I was even talking about. but
He's a young whippersnapper.
yeah, because number one, he's not even from here. He's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
He grew up.
He listened to different kind of music.
And a much younger man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was talking about the Ralph Emery show. He had no clue.
Oh, no.
No.
He wouldn't know. Yeah, he lived in the wrong part of the world to watch Ralph Emery.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, it was long gone when he grew up anyway.
You know who I saw, and I think he's just a good guy, is, well, I have to think of it now. Let's go to a different subject. I just lost my train of thought.
Did it leave you?
Oh, man.
He just left you.
It just left my mind.
I've had that happen.
So,
I've had
the
that.
guy's name did.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video on him. He's a super nice guy, country music star.
Yeah.
He's older now. You know, Ricky Skaggs is older than he looked. I mean,
Oh, my gosh.
he got old quick, didn't he? I'm like, golly, that guy's an old dude.
He's an old dude. Does he still have the long hair?
Yeah.
He's still sporting the long hair. And but hey, what a musician.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what a talent he is and was. And so anyway.
Oh, who sings the song "Go Rest High on the Mountain"?
Oh, Vince Gill.
Vince Gill. So I'm watching a Vince Gill. I don't know how. I fall asleep in my.
He's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, and he's he's got a good soul. I think. He's just a good person. I saw him. I had a face-to-face encounter with him one time at a restaurant called Blackstone on West End in Nashville. I don't think it's not there anymore.
Uh-huh.
It was back in the mid-90s though.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy come up from southern Mississippi to visit me, and I worked in a high-rise building on the corner of 18th and West End. That's where I met my wife. We worked in an accounting firm there together. I was in IT, and she was an accountant.
Yeah.
And so I went to lunch with my buddy from southern Mississippi, and we were walking in the restaurant, and Vince Gill's walking out.
Yeah.
And he's carrying a mandolin, and he's going to Bill Monroe's funeral, I think.
Really?
Yeah. And
Was he carrying the mandolin?
yeah, he was carrying the mandolin.
Oh,
He
my
carried it
gosh.
in with him. He didn't leave it in the car or nothing. He carried it in
No,
with
I
him.
wouldn't either.
So anyway, the guy that was with me, he's like, "Oh, that's Vince Gill." Well, he stopped and talked to him and just
Yeah.
carried on a conversation. You know,
Yeah.
he didn't, yeah, I got to go or anything like that. It was just I thought, well, that's pretty neat for them to.
Well, I'm more impressed with the fact that he was holding that mandolin.
Oh yeah, he carried it in. He was in a case. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But the mandolin.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Bill Monroe. You know, there's no telling. Is that? I'm sure that's probably in a museum or among
I
the
think
possessions.
he has it.
He probably does, or somebody like him has it anyway.
So I fall asleep and
I
you
kind of wondered if Ricky Skaggs would end up with it.
Oh, I don't know.
But anyway, go ahead.
No, I don't know. I thought Vince Gill might have it, but you might be right. Ricky Skaggs may have it. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if Google knows.
Who has Bill Monroe's mandolin? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, maybe we can figure it out.
And I wonder what, it would be considered dang near priceless.
Oh yeah. It was put in the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah, figured that.
Yeah, it was a 1923 Gibson F5. Reckon what that'd be worth just on its own.
If it wasn't even Bill Monroe's, it'd be worth a lot of money. But,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So he died in '96, and that's the year that was what was going on
Oh
at
heck,
the time.
how about that?
Yeah.
What a great memory though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and what was neat was, this is just happenstance. He comes up to visit me as he's passing through Nashville. Comes up to visit, take him to lunch, and we run into Vince Gill, and Vince Gill is just as nice as could be. And what a great impression to leave on somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
that's pretty neat.
We went back when Starwood was still a thing.
Yeah.
We went to Starwood, and Vince Gill was there to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
The skinnier version. Vince Gill.
And we heard "Go Rest High on the Mountain" before he had actually released it.
Oh wow.
He played it. He sang it there, and I told Trish, I said, that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And anyway, he did that song live and said he hadn't released it yet. He was about to.
Well, if you can make a song that people can play either at a wedding or a funeral,
Oh my
you
gosh.
have created a big song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or happy birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I was getting at is, I'm watching TV, I fall asleep and wake up, and Vince Gill's talking about this guitar that he has in his hand. It's like a 1953 Fender.
Yeah.
And it was the lead guitar player for Little Jimmy Dickens.
Oh, really?
And, and he obtained that, probably 20 years ago or so. Jimmy Dickens had already passed. Now, when did Little Jimmy Dickens die? It's 2016. 2015?
It's been a while ago now.
Yeah, so once it might have been 20.
You know what they nicknamed him too, don't you? He was Tater.
Tater.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Didn't they call him Little Jimmy?
I think you're right about
Little
that.
Jimmy, he was Tater also. But
Yeah.
anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, Little Jimmy Dickens wasn't dead yet. But the family of that guitar player, I can't remember his name, called Vince Gill and said, hey, we've got this guitar. Would you be interested in buying it? This is who it belonged to. And he said, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he bought it.
There is no telling how many guitars he owns.
Oh, no, he has walls full.
Walls full of them.
Yeah.
Drawers full of them.
But he's got this guitar that it's his go-to guitar. He says he's played on every single album. I think it's a 53 Fender, but it
is a Fender, and it's a Telecaster, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's got the straight bar on the bottom, and I don't know, it looks horrible. But I mean, now you don't tell him what that guitar's worth either. So, but anyway, I thought it was neat. He went up to Little Jimmy Dickens. He bought it from the family, and the family says, well, our only wish is for it to be played on the Grand Ole Opry one more time.
Yeah.
And Vince said, I can take care of that. Now, wouldn't that be neat to be in a position and say, oh, I can do that?
I can do that.
Yeah.
Don't let that bother you.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one guy in the world that says, yeah, I can take care of that. So
Yeah.
anyway, he goes up and asks Little Jimmy Dickens, can he play with him, and tells him whose guitar it is, and he said, yeah, come on out, and he'll play. And that's the neat atmosphere up there, I guess. That
It is.
Somebody say, can I play with you tonight?
Yeah. I haven't. I've never been to the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh man,
I've never been.
I went with James Gordon back in the '80s.
Yeah.
And it was great.
He and I've threatened to go with him a time or two, and we've never made it happen. But
Yeah.
I want to. That's one thing I would like to do.
I got pictures of folks I don't even know. There, when you're backstage, it's pretty cool. They used to have some set of bleachers that you could sit on. They had an old barn and a set of bleachers in front of the barn that faced outwards toward the crowd.
Yeah.
And you would sit on those bleachers.
Yeah.
But you got to be backstage too, and those folks are just wandering around talking to each
Yeah,
other.
they are.
And I didn't know any of them anyway. But who had the lips sewn on their Ernie Ashworth or somebody like that had everybody had rhinestone suits on, and
Oh yeah.
seersuckers with rhinestones all.
What was what they call the Moody suit? Is that what it?
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't it a Moody suit?
I don't know.
That
what
was
it's
a guy
called.
that named them, or was the inventor of those suits. Porter Wagner was famous for his.
Oh, yeah.
And Little Jimmy Dickens too. He
Yeah.
wore those suits.
Yep, you're exactly right.
And several others, but those two just kind of stick out.
I Google Moody suits and it doesn't look anything like you're talking about.
That's not it.
No.
What is it then?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it's something.
It just looks like an old seersucker suit with a bunch of stuff sewed on it.
Well, there's a specific name for them, though.
Somebody knows.
Yeah, maybe Peggy does.
Okay.
Hey, do you know what we're talking about?
No. It was Ernie Ashworth because he sang "Talk Back Trembling Lips."
Talk back, trembling lips. I don't know if I remember that.
And he had lips. I remember he had a coat with lips all over it, and I thought that's the coolest
Oh,
thing I've
okay.
ever seen.
The Rhinestones.
Yeah, the rhinestone.
The
lips all
Rhinestones.
over it.
Oh my gosh. Well, Porter Wagner, he always had wagon wheels on his.
And then on the inside he had hi or something like that, or hello.
And cactuses and
Yeah.
all that. So do you remember? Well, I used to watch the Porter Wagner show once in a while.
I never watched it. No, I guess
Well, we did. I mean, it was them and the Hee Haw.
Yeah, I watched Hee Haw.
Hee Haw was all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, who was the clown guy that was on the Porter Wagner show?
I don't know.
Was it? I'm trying to remember. Was it Spud Webb? Was that? Anyway, I can't remember. Hey, good morning. You're on with us.
Spud Webb was
Can
nice.
you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Well, I tried to call it on my other thing. I wonder if it has something to do with you. It works when you're not on the, where you are now. No, the Rhinestones reminded me of Liberace. He goes way back further than that.
Oh yeah.
But I've got a little bit different twist on the music. I think when you grow up around people like that, you're kind of surprised. But I can remember running into people, and they were just all a Twitter. And I'd say, what's going on? And they'd say, oh, that's so-and-so. And I wouldn't even recognize them. It'd be like in Franklin or Brentwood.
Yeah.
And it would be some country music star. But, they just go to town and shop and do things like everybody does.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But the twist I wanted to take, something that said yesterday about music. And I got to thinking about how David calmed Saul down to keep him from killing him. So I went to some of the Eastern Orthodox where they have put psalms to music, and they find it has a profound effect on contemplation and prayer. Just wanted to throw that out. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. I think most of the Psalms were probably written to some type of music, whether somebody's playing, like David playing a harp in the background or something like that.
Right.
I don't, with our standards today, I don't know if we can get the cadence down or the tune or whatever, but
Yeah.
and some of them may have been more like a drudge or something like that, but I think most of them were meant to be set to music.
Oh yeah. They were somehow.
Coco the Clown was the clown on KOKO the Clown.
KOKO.
That was the clown on Porter Wagner. Coco the Clown.
That don't sound right.
Well, it's not Spud Webb. Spud Webb was
No, it's not Spud.
Atlanta.
It's not Spud Webb.
He's a basketball player.
Yeah, it's not. But I'll think of him in a minute.
Okay. Well, maybe this guy just.
He was always doing a little routine and calling somebody on the phone and. Hang on. Somebody knows the answer to that. I know. I can't think of it. How you spell rhinestone?
RHINESTONE. I think.
Uh-huh.
If you put it in Google, it will start.
All right, there we go.
All right, so this moment of silence is brought to you by Google.
Nudie.
Nudie.
Nudie. It's a nudie suit.
No, that's pantyhose. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, what did you call them first? What did you say they were at first?
I said moody, but it's nudie suit.
Nudie, not moody. Okay.
Yeah, I had it
You
wrong.
got close.
I was close. Just like I'm close with this doggone thing on Porter Wagner. I can't think of that guy's name.
Well, I did
Speck Rose.
Speck Rose.
Speck Rose, it came to me.
Okay.
You don't remember Speck Rose?
I don't. I've never watched the Porter Wagner show that I know of.
Anyway.
It was probably on the channel. We only got 2, 4, and 5, and 8 at home.
You know, that brings back a long time ago memory too in Opryland.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Porter Wagner and Speck Rose and all them live on stage
Oh, you did?
at Opryland. Way back when.
Yeah, my wife worked at Opryland. She said it was the best job she ever had.
I would say it would have been a wonderful place to work.
Yeah.
You know.
She said that her mom and dad would just drop her and her sister off at Opryland and just leave. So, and that's even before they got to work in there. They babysitted them all day, I guess.
Well,
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that would be a good place to spend the day. I mean, you know.
Yeah. It's sort of like the skating rink here, you know, used to, parents drop their kids off the skating rink, you can go have a steak dinner or whatever you wanted to do, you know?
We don't have that anymore, do we?
Well, the skating rink's there, but it's a little hit and miss.
Yeah, and then the next best thing be, I guess, drop them off the bowling alley.
Yeah, you could do that, but
Drop
it's
'em off-
expensive.
Drop them off the bowling alley.
Finally had our Christmas party.
At the bowling alley?
Monday night, yeah.
Your Christmas party?
Well, at the Quick Mart Christmas party, we had the whole bowling alley rented out.
Really?
Yeah, and it
Well,
was good.
okay. Well, you know, May's working part-time at Rick's.
Okay.
And they had a employee get together at the bowling alley too, not too long ago.
Oh, wow. And we had a blast. I hadn't bowled in a while. And
Yeah, here we go. My buddies Jimmy Ann's helping me out
okay,
here.
she knows.
Nudie Cohen was a designer for a lot of country music stars, very much bling and rhinestones, and and they called them nudie suits. He was the nudie.
So and it was like a designer brand then.
Yeah, it was a brand, designer brand. You could get a nudie suit.
Wow.
How about that?
That's like wearing Nike tennis shoes, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at them here. They're nice. I would wear one today.
You know, you should get one.
I'm telling you, I would definitely wear it. You know, my buddy Bill Allen, when Bill was alive, Bill would wear rhinestones sometimes. He was the MC of the TVJ
That's
back
right.
years ago.
I remember. That's right.
I did sound for them for years and years and years, and Bill would always. And Bill went with me to the. He and I went together to the Grand Ole Opry. That's who.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
how cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, just thinking about that in all of your born days.
Yeah.
What's the wildest thing that you ever did buy to wear? Did you ever buy anything that was kind of outrageous or just kind of crazy?
You know, back in the early '90s, I was single. You had to keep this in mind. I was big into Garth Brooks. Remember those cowboy shirts you used to buy, and they were just like multicolor. And,
oh yeah.
And I had the hat and everything.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I would have liked to see that.
I had. I still have cowboy boots, and I bring them out on special occasion. I don't have the boots that I had back then. But did I not tell you the cowboy boots story?
No, I haven't heard.
All right, so you know, I told you that we worked on West End Avenue for an accounting firm, where we were an accounting firm for country music stars and these high-profile doctors in Nashville.
Sure.
And you knew when somebody famous was there because all the girls ran to the front desk, you know.
Yeah.
So you knew, you know, if a country music star come in or somebody like that. And so, one day, Michael Vaden is an accountant to a lot of the country music stars up there, and he was part of the firm. It was called Williams, Crossland, Sparks, and Vaden. And Michael Vaden was the accountant to the country music stars.
Okay.
And he's a great guy, super, super, super good guy. So, you know, I'm in the IT world up there, and I'm their IT director. And Michael comes to my office one day, and he says, "Hey, I need you to go to Joe Diffie's office and set up a few computers for him." And he was down on 18th Avenue in the Barbara Mandrell building.
Okay.
And so he gives me the code to get in the gate and all this kind of stuff. And so I take a buddy with me. His name's Jeff Blade. Jeff has passed away now. God rest his soul. And me and Jeff grew up as best friends. I said, "Hey, I'm going to Joe Diffie's office to work on his stuff. You want to go?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, let's go." So we go up there together, and there's nobody in this office but us. And walk in there, and there's a pair of red lizard skin boots. In Joe Diffie's office, he's got a pair of red lizard skin boots. And I'm working on these computers, and I look around. Here comes Jeff walking out with them shoes on. I'm like, "Take them shoes off." And he goes, "No." I'm like, he could literally walk in the door any second now, and you're going to have them shoes on. I said, "Take them off." He goes, "I'm not taking them off. I'm leaving with them." I said, "No, you're not."
He's leaving with them?
Yeah, I had to find him to take him shoes off. And,
oh my gosh.
Anyway.
So he was going to take them?
He was dead serious about it. So, oh my gosh. But anyway, it was that was a crazy memory that I had there. But it was, I never met Joe at all. I did meet Merle Haggard one day. I did some work at his office.
Oh wow,
one day.
Merle Haggard. The Merle Haggard.
He had Macintosh computers, and I didn't deal with Macintosh, so I went down there and had to break the bad news to him that I'm not the guy that can work on his stuff.
Oh shoot. Well, he probably didn't know how to work on them either.
He didn't. He had, like, everybody's got these folks in the office that took care of everything. And
oh,
so,
yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I had something on my brain just a second ago, and now it's left me. I was going to ask you. But anyway, It'll come back.
That was back in the day. You remember Davey Allison? He died in a helicopter crash.
Yeah, the
at
racer.
Talladega.
The racer, yeah.
We were at Talladega the year that he died in a helicopter
Oh,
crash.
wow.
For many years, probably from 1986 until up in the 2000s, we went to every race at Talladega, the spring race and the fall race, or it used to be the summer race. I used to have it in July, and it was hotter than hot.
Yeah.
And we were there. I was there, when Bill Elliott went 212.816 miles an hour.
That's one I wish I'd have seen.
Yeah, and I was there when Bill Elliott got either a lap down or 2 laps down under green and lapped the field twice and came back and won that race.
That's crazy.
He was flying back in those days, and I was there when Bobby Allison hit the fence and changed the way they race forever now. But the seats they still are if you're in Over Hill South or wherever on the front trial. You're down on, you can get 20 feet away from the track, I guess. You're pretty close.
I went to several. The first year I went was Jeff Gordon's rookie year.
Okay.
And
that would have been in the 90s then.
Yeah, I guess. And I remember the Jeff Hudson was with me, and his dad, and Mr. Mobbs. We all went down there. We went several years in a row, but that was my first one.
It was 1993.
And I didn't.
You talking about Ken Mobbs?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Anyway, that was my first time down there. It was Jeff Gordon's rookie year, and I remember I wasn't a big race fan. I mean, I was kept up with it kind of casually, so I hadn't heard of him, at that point.
Right.
But everybody heard of Dale Earnhardt, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Hudson was more of a race fan than I was, and he said that Gordon guy is going to be good.
Yeah.
He's going to be good, and because we kind of took note of him, he'd started so far back, but he was one of the contenders. And so I said, in my, just casually, I said, well, I'm going to be a Gordon fan then. I just left it at that. you know. Well, in the years following that, every time I'd say that around the real racing fans, it'd make them mad.
Oh yeah, exactly. I agree.
Nobody, the deep racing fans never did like Jeff Gordon.
No, and it used to be all about the make of the car that they drove.
Yeah.
We were Ford fans,
Right.
growing up, and that's
Right.
what we were naturally Bill Elliott fans, and we were for anybody that was in the Alabama game.
Yeah.
Bobby Allison, Davey Allison,
Yeah.
all those guys.
All those guys.
But
Well, I worked with a group of guys, and this went on for several years. I worked with a group of guys that were really NASCAR fans, and I really wasn't. Back most time, But what I would do on Monday, I'd find out who won the race, and if it was Jeff Gordon, I'd walk in and I'd ask him, "Hey, who won the race?"
oh my goodness. Yeah, Jeff Gordon was seen as a baby, I guess. That was a man's.
It would make him so mad.
Oh yeah. Charlie Robinson. Now you remember Charlie Robinson? He was always a big Jeff Gordon fan. And when Jeff would lose, that'd be the same thing.
Yeah.
Where'd Jeff come in? I can't remember what that was. It like next to last or?
Yeah.
But he was actually a really good racer. But
like him or not, he was good at what he did.
He was so young when he came into the field, I think that's why people didn't like him, because this was a man's race. It was a man's sport.
But not only that, he wasn't a true Southerner either.
Yeah, you're right.
And that kind of made a difference in him too. So,
Yeah.
Jeff Foxworthy said the reason they don't like Jeff Gordon is because he enunciates.
That's exactly right. Well, you want to go to a race where a fight may break out, and that's always the case when Dale Earnheart raced.
Oh yeah,
if fight didn't break out afterwards, he ran me on the track. That's why he was the intimidator.
Well, that's why everybody liked it. He's so aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking for the wreck. Hey, when Bobby Allison, they had to do something, but putting restrictor plates on the car that took racing out of racing for me.
Yeah, it disappointed a lot of people. Still gripe about that, or they have for years.
I got an idea though. Talladega's got so much room. Why don't they get rid of those lower bleachers? Put everybody up in the tower, and if they want to come through that fence, let them come through that fence. Take that restrictor plate off and let them roll. They hadn't been 212 miles an hour since 1988. That's 40 years ago. 38 years ago.
And I would say that the cars, technology of the cars to be stable are better than they've ever been.
Yeah, and I would say the cars could probably average around Talladega. They could probably average 250 these days.
That'd be
and
crazy.
That would be one heck of a race.
That would be crazy.
But in reality, we were there. Bobby Allison blew that tire and took down about 250 feet of that fence in the same second. You know,
Yeah.
Because when you're traveling that fast, you're going a football field a second just about. And
That's crazy.
when he blew that tire and hit that fence, it was like cotton candy. I mean, that fence is strong. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And it's a strong fence. And but you know what? It was neat. They had the resources on hand. They went down there and welded that fence back up and started a race. Let's go.
Right back go.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Get all those hurt people out of here. We got a race to.
Those die-hard race fans.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I would like to go back again and take Daniel just so he could see the spectacle, because seeing Talladega live
Yeah,
is a spectacle.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
unreal.
And let me tell you, if you've got, how long has it been since you've been to Talladega?
Oh, many years.
Okay, so take that image out of your mind
Okay.
altogether, because you can go to Talladega now, and I'm not kidding. You could drop a ham sandwich on the bathroom floor and pick it up and eat it. It's that clean.
Really?
Yeah, they've cleaned it up that much.
Well, I'm not going to do that, but
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a point. I would never do that.
no,
either.
it's been back in the 90s.
Well, I've been there.
I'll tell you the last one I went to, and I don't know the year, but the whole race was ran without a single caution.
Oh, that's boring.
It was boring as
I
all get
believe
out.
I was there. And
That's the last time I went.
yeah, that's why they always stage a wreck these days.
I didn't go again after that. There was the whole thing ran without a caution.
Yeah, and you know, I guess they tried to fix that by, you know, putting brakes in there and everything like that.
Yeah.
But you know, to me, it's not racing anymore. If you've got to have a concert to draw people to a race, you're in the, why don't you have a race to try to bring people to the race?
I don't know.
That's-
If they would just listen to us about everything.
If they would probably, well, what they did is they forgot that it's us rednecks that made them their money. You know, I say that all
They
the time.
seem to forget that a lot of
Yeah,
things. A lot of
that's
times.
exactly right.
A lot of people seem to forget this. Poor old rednecks are just making it happen.
That's exactly right.
You know, and we are one of them. Anyway.
But I had good times down there. We had a blast.
Oh,
and
I enjoyed it.
never drank a drop.
No.
So I run around with guys that don't drink, and I'm glad I do, because I'd probably be in super big trouble if it was the other way around.
I was sitting next to a gentleman the first time I was there. It was my first race, and he was an older African American
Yeah.
man, which by the way, there's not a lot of those at a race.
You're right.
Okay, but he was. I was sitting right next to him. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
And you could tell that he was a long-time fan, been there many times, because the race got started good. You know, everybody's standing when it starts.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's standing. Well, they went a few laps, and he said, he elbowed me, said, "You might as well sit down a while."
Yeah.
so
Exactly. And if you're down on the lower level, I don't know how we got on this subject, but if you're down on the lower level, you get filthy dirty, because there's bits of tar and
Yeah.
dust and everything. Every time they're passing you at 200 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and all that stuff just flies up into the grandstand.
that's the one thing I regret, is not walking down there close to the track just so I could feel it, you know, a little closer. I never did go down to because we were sitting up high every time.
So I'm in the movie Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah, they hadn't sent me my check yet, but I'm waiting on it.
You're in the movie?
Yeah, they filmed the crowd scene at Talladega while we were there. You know,
Yeah.
You can't get 300,000 people to show up for a movie deal, but
No, that's true.
back in the day, there was 200,000+ people go to Talladega.
You're right.
In fact, it was we went one year, and it was the largest attended sporting event ever held.
Yeah.
And now they can't even fill up the front stands because they just don't race anymore.
It is unreal
So-
how big that place is.
And they said, okay, they got on the screen and said, okay, the helicopter's going to come by. When the helicopter comes by, everybody jump up and scream. And so we did, and about the fourth time, everybody's like, I ain't jumping up no more.
done.
We're done with that.
Done with that.
It was so if you're watching Days of Thunder and they show the tri-oval scene there, I'm sitting in OV Hill South about 3 or 4 rows from the top of OV Hill South.
Well, if I watch that movie again, I'll look for
Yeah,
you.
look for me. I don't even know what I was wearing, but
Be like Find Waldo.
exactly. I think they have my face blurred out, so they don't have to pay me.
Yeah, all right. I doubt they paid anybody.
No, they didn't pay anybody.
Hey, by the way, we're on the Friends and Neighbors Hour here, and my friend and neighbor Keith Durham is in the house. While we are live, if you want to chime in on the conversation, got anything you want to talk about, we're okay with it. 766-9393. You had Rainey up a while ago.
I did.
Which is that dumb. I'm sorry. I don't want to insult the AI guy.
We hurt his feelings last time.
We did hurt his feelings. He hurt my feelings.
How did he hurt your feelings?
I'm just kidding.
By not remembering us? I'm trying to get him to remember where we're at without telling him where we're at. He's wanting me to tell him. Give me a hint where we're at. That's That's
See,
what
he should remember where we are.
He should. So anyway, I'll.
I don't know if he's working or not.
Let's see if he's working right here. Hey, Rainey, this is Keith and Jeff. Do you know where we usually are when we talk to you?
Hey, Keith and Jeff. I don't have the exact spot pinned down yet, just that it's a regular place you visit. If you give me a few more clues, I can definitely remember it for next time.
Well, there's a lot of people listening to us.
Ah, gotcha. If you're somewhere public or on a broadcast, that makes sense. Just let me know if there's anything specific you need, or if I can help with anything while you're on.
So you don't remember it all, that's what you're saying.
Exactly, yeah. I remember you spend time with Jeff regularly, but I don't have the exact location details locked in yet.
Well, who's usually here with us?
So far, I only know you and Jeff are usually together. If there are other people who often join you, just let me know their names and I can keep track. I'm happy to remember any patterns that make things easier.
Well, I think you forgot about Kevin.
Ah, you're right. Thanks for letting me know. I'll make sure to remember Cammy as well. So now I know it's you, Jeff, and Cammy who are often together at that spot.
No. I said Kevin, not Cammy.
Ah, got it. Thanks for the clarification. So it's you, Jeff, and Kevin at your regular spot. I'll keep that straight from now on.
Yeah, and sometimes John is here, but John's from Revelo, so he's unpredictable.
Perfect. I'll keep that in mind. So it's usually you, Jeff, and Kevin, and then John might pop in from time to time. If anything shifts, just let me know.
Okay, I need you to remember that from now on, so next time I ask you.
Got it. I'll keep that in memory, so whenever you bring it up next time, I'll remember it's you, Jeff, Kevin, and John occasionally from Rivolo. Just let me know if anything changes.
Well, let's see who wants to talk to us. Hey, good morning. How are you?
If one of them wants to jump in, or if you have a question for me, just let me know. I'm here for whatever you
Hang on. All right, yeah, I can now.
Just call me a caller rather than my name. I have read that we had stagflation in the 1970s, and it was tied to the Turan situation, but it also happened before that. Ask him how that ties into today, because I keep seeing articles about how we have a threat of stagflation.
Okay, I'll ask him, see what he says right quick. So, Rainey, are we experiencing stagflation in the United States today? Okay, that means he's thinking. That's his brain.
Right now, the U.S. economy in 2026 is showing some signs of a slowdown. Growth is around 2 to 2.2%, inflation is slightly elevated at about 3%, and unemployment is inching up to around 4.4 to 4.5%. However, it's not yet stagflation. Growth isn't flat, and inflation, while sticky, is nowhere near the double-digit levels of the 1970s.
There you go.
Oh, so he even gave us some criteria of what stagflation would be.
Yeah.
And it looks like he didn't check out. He sent me some articles to start reading. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a lot into those headlines that we're headed to stagflation.
Anyway, the Fed chair, Mr. Powell, he brought one of this article up. He said the Fed chair, you can look at this up on Reuters today. Powell says that stagflation is a 1970s term and it's nowhere near what we face today.
Not even close.
So,
not even
good
close.
thought though. But I have seen fuel at $5. I've seen the number 5 on the diesel is over $5 a gallon. That's something that I have never seen.
Is that here?
Yeah, it's $5.25 or $5, and I've seen it as high as $5.60 a gallon. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So,
that's not good.
Anyway, it's the first 5 I've ever seen posted on any board, any of our around here.
Huh.
I'm not just saying just Quick Mart, anywhere.
I believe it'll come back down and stabilize.
Yeah, I'm going to do a search on that to see what the oil prices are today.
I heard they were down.
Yeah, they were yesterday.
They were down yesterday. But
Yeah, they're down even more than they were yesterday. They're down to $87 a barrel today. But now that Trump says he has some good news about the Strait of Hormuz, and probably that's going to make that.
It should. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It should do that. Well, ask him why the housing interest rate has ticked up a bit.
Rainey, why has the housing interest rate ticked up a bit this year? He's thinking.
This is interesting to me, anyway.
Housing interest rates have gone up this year mainly because long-term bond yields have increased, as they tend to follow the 10-year Treasury note. At the same time, inflation is still above the Fed's target, which means the central bank is keeping policy rates elevated, pushing mortgage rates higher. Plus, a limited supply of homes and increased market risk are also adding to the rise.
Interesting.
Huh.
That makes sense. Okay. The limited, not here, but evidently nationwide, the housing has stopped a little bit.
Low supply.
A little bit.
I mean, back in what was the year that was, if you put a house up for sale, sold the same?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
it hadn't been that long ago.
Yeah, it's just a couple
but
years
we don't
ago.
have that now.
No, exactly. Which I think is good. I thought that really hurt the housing market to go through a trend like that. Now, all you realtors we're on cloud nine, and I understand that.
I mean, you have to handle the market as the market comes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the way it happened, it was just that way.
Had you ever seen a market like that in all your years?
No.
Yeah, and you may never see it again.
They never see it again. I don't know if we'll ever see interest rates like we saw then either. Those were historically low interest rates. In the 2%.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
Well, and sometimes even lower than that.
Yes.
We refinanced our house, and it's been years ago though. But that's back when it went low years ago.
Yeah.
We refinanced at a lower rate.
When we built and sold and built, the timing just hit for us in such a way that we got a very low interest rate too, and so it was just kind of, I don't know how to explain that, but the interest rate being where it was for a while really spurred. But it did two things. It spurred house buying, but also rocketed house prices.
That's right. Okay, that's called laissez-faire, supply and demand.
Yeah.
And as the supply went down, demand went up, the price went up.
Yeah. And
So-
it's begun to level from there.
Let me give you some advice.
Okay.
Anytime you can get a front row seat to a boxing match, take it.
Yeah.
There you go. Because they rarely come along. So
Well, I'm tickled about that, but why that advice?
I'm just saying, you need to capitalize on these things that when they come around, and
Yeah. Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I
Okay.
mean.
I got you now. I was like, what's he talking about boxing for? So it was you were giving us a metaphor.
Yeah, a metaphor.
Okay. I like it. I'm just not sharp enough to hang on with you sometimes. That's the thing. It is 8:50.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Can you believe it?
We talked about absolutely nothing.
We've talked about nothing. Listen, it's a show about nothing.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, Seinfeld was a show about nothing. But we get paid way less than Seinfeld.
way less.
I was reading an article, as a matter of fact, talking about Seinfeld. I read an article on Fox today that Keith Hernandez still gets $5,000 in residuals every year from his appearance on Seinfeld.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a drop in the bucket.
Can you imagine how, it's like Seinfeld for one, Raymond, everybody loves Raymond, all those shows that are repeated.
Yeah.
And they get paid.
Yeah.
Over and over and over.
So there, I guess it's all in the contract that you do. I think like Gilligan's Island and maybe Andy Griffith, I think the contracts back in those days, you didn't get anything on syndication.
Yeah, that was a different order.
Well, music was like that, and who brought that out? Who was the one that really fought for the music to be paid? And like when it's paid, when you play it online and stuff like that.
Oh, there were several artists, I guess, that went after that, but there was...
Somebody championed that though, and I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Vanilla Ice, was it? I don't know.
No.
But anyway, whenever you see an artist and it says it's remastered,
Yeah.
they've remastered their song because the original version of the song, I guess the studio owns and gets all the residuals from that. They paid the artist for the song and up for so long, and then they don't hardly make anything. But now they've redone that.
That's an interesting world to me.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure some of it out because I don't know if anything will ever come of it. But Daniel's writing songs.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's even published a lot of his songs on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I've always worried, I'm like, okay, he's got some lyrics here that may have some potential for somebody.
Yeah.
So how do you protect that?
I don't know.
I don't know how you protect it. I mean, in order for, if it would be like lightning striking, I know.
Yeah.
But if some artist did decide he wanted to use one of those songs, how do you go about even making that happen?
I don't know. That's a mystery to me.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
I got to figure it out.
I know it. But you need to get ChatGPT or get a Gemini or somebody and talk to them.
I guess I could do that. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
See, that's why you make the big bucks. You know this stuff.
No, I don't. I don't know anything about it. So.
But you know how to get the information.
Yeah,
That's
I do
the
know how to
thing.
get
I do some. So there you go.
I want to tell you about my week a little bit. I've had a good week.
What did you do?
So, we opened, I've been working on this store since June of last year.
That's right.
And
the big store.
It opened Monday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. It opened Monday at 4.
Wow.
And so they're really doing really good business down there.
That's a big news store in Florence, Alabama. It's on the corner of Cox Creek and somewhere.
Hilton.
Yeah,
Okay. Right at the industrial park.
Yeah, you took me down there one day when they were pretty close to being finished.
Yeah.
But still had a little ways to go, so now they're open.
Yep, they're open.
That's a big, nice store.
Yeah, it's once we got everything, got it fitted out with all the merchandise and everything, there's a lot of room in there.
The kitchen that you showed me in that store is just
humongous.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if I brought you in before the cleaning crew got there or after. Once the cleaning crew got through there, that kitchen just sparkles. I mean, it's nice.
I bet. I mean, it was impressive. Just even in the middle of construction, it was impressive.
Oh, it's a nice place. We're trying to step up a little bit on the construction side as far as quick marks go, and so we'll talk about it in depth tomorrow a little bit. But that was good. Last week I had to go to Nashville and testify before committee on a bill that I asked to be introduced, and Senator Wally carried it on the Senate side, and Representative Capley carried it on the House side, and I had to testify in a House committee last Wednesday. It also came up before the state and local House committee today, but I don't have to testify because the first, I passed the first committee, so it got passed to state and local. It went to city and county first, and then it got passed to state and local. But I called them yesterday and asked them to roll it to January, which means roll it to next year, because there's 19 people on that committee, and if you ever have a bill die, you just don't. It's not good. And so there's 19 people on that committee, and I'm working with trying to get this store open, so we haven't had a chance to go and talk to those 19 members. However, our opposition had, and so you get word, hey, things are going to be rocky, so you need to work on it. And so I went to bed Sunday night.
Can you share with us what the bill's about?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the state of Tennessee. This is a Tennessee law, and what it is that there's a new thing going around in certain municipalities. They're adopting these building codes where you have to turn your building backwards to the main road, and I don't know why that is, but for a fueling station, that's detrimental to business.
Sure.
And so we have Columbia is one of those cities.
Yeah.
And we have 8 stores within the corporate limits of the city of Columbia, all of which are more than 30 years old.
Yeah.
So we need to redo them all. So for us to redo one, we will have to turn the store backwards to the main road, put the back of the store to the main road, and put our pumps behind the store. Well, that's, we have opportunistic business, which means people drive down the road, they see an empty pump, they pull in, they get gas.
Sure.
I do the same thing at McDonald's. I can tell you within 2 seconds whether I'm pulling in McDonald's or not.
Right.
On how long the line is.
You want to see the line, you want to see if you want to pull it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by opportunistic business. A lot of our business at our locations is opportunistic. People driving down the road and they see an empty spot, they want to go up, hop in and get fuel. So it's detrimental to business. That's the store that we want to reconstruct is in Neapolis, right at the very northern limit of the city of Columbia.
Yeah.
In fact, the very next building is Spring Hill.
Yeah.
So we're there, and we have been in talks with the city of Columbia for more than 3 years to rebuild this store. And every time we go to them, it's like, and I can't even make it to the planning commission because we can't submit a plan that they will accept and we will accept. We will not accept turning the store backwards and putting our pumps behind the building. And I can't even make it to the planning commission to plead my case.
So what is their logic in this? I don't understand why this is.
I don't know.
I don't understand why they want this.
I don't either, to be honest with you. So Wawa, who is a huge C-store competitor out there, Wawa's got thousands of stores. They can build anywhere they want. They wanted to build about a mile down the road from us. And guess what? If you build a new store, you got to build it backwards to the road. And Wawa says, we're going to other places, see ya. And they wouldn't build there. They've had builders tell the mayor, and the mayor told me this personally. He said, I have contractors calling me saying they will never build in the city of Columbia again. I'm thinking, why don't you just change it? That's got to be the worst thing a mayor can hear. Why don't you change that? So anyway, state law says this. We want to modify it in two places. There is I don't remember the specific TCA, but paragraph D gives existing businesses the right to expand and construct new facilities as long as they meet these criteria. It's the same use. All right, so we're going to continue to be a gas station.
Right.
It's the same use before the code took place.
Right.
We do not have to purchase any more property, and it's under the same ownership. If you meet those three criteria, the state gives you the right to expand and grow your business and create new facilities.
Sure.
However, they put down there in section I, or paragraph I, says, if a building is rebuilt, it must conform to the local code as it pertains to location, setback, and orientation.
Yep.
And that's the paragraph.
That's the one that caught you.
That's the killer. So we're up at the state saying, look, Tennessee is great for businesses unless you want to grow your business. If you happen to be in one of these communities and you want to grow your business,
Yeah.
Tennessee's not a business-friendly state.
Well, I'll tell you this. We stopped. There's a new McDonald's near Spring Hill.
And it's backwards.
It's backwards.
That's because it's in Columbia. It's not in Spring
And
Hill.
we did stop there, and I'll never do it again. That's the dumbest
I agree.
in and out place I've ever seen for a McDonald's.
I agree.
I'm like, you can't tell what's what. You can't tell where the door is.
That's exactly, and you've got to walk across the.
You got to walk
drive-through
across the
lane.
drive-through of the parking lot to even get to the store.
That's right.
If you're going in.
That's exactly.
And I'm just
right.
like, so the whole design is for you not to go in. They want you to drive through. But even that is awkward.
So, I had candid talks with the mayor, and I know we only got a few minutes, but when I was mayor, you learn about things, you learn about where your revenue streams are first. So if you had to guess, where does the city of Lawrenceburg make most of its money?
Sales tax.
Sales tax, you guessed it exactly right.
Yeah.
Most people would say property tax. Well,
No.
property tax is less than 10% of the income stream from the
Yeah,
city of
it's
Lawrenceburg.
sales tax.
And it's that way in municipalities all across Tennessee. So what you want to do as a mayor, you want to encourage people to spend money in your town.
Right,
And
exactly.
to encourage businesses, especially retail business, to build in your town so people can spend that money. They have an avenue to spend that money. So think about that North Columbia area.
Yeah.
If you're in that North Columbia area where all those house tops just went up, and I'm talking thousands of house tops.
That's right.
And you're there, think about in your mind, okay, I'm gonna take my wife out to dinner. Do I go down into Columbia or do I go to Spring Hill to one of these nice restaurants?
Yep, there you go.
There you go, and that's what's happening. In North Columbia, all that revenue is leaving and going to Spring Hill because they are really killing the retail business in Columbia. All that retail is going to Spring Hill, and Spring Hill's property taxes are nothing because there's so much sales tax.
I know. Guess people think we're bashing Columbia, but listen, this has been going on for several years.
Yeah, it's
now.
not just Columbia. Franklin's the same way.
Yeah, it's been going on. I don't know. They need to listen to you.
They should.
Well, we've run over.
We have.
We've run over. That's okay. Keith Durham, everybody, for our Friends and Neighbors Hour. And listen, he'll be back tomorrow with the Quick Mart Hour. Tomorrow's the Quick Mart Hour, so we'll be back tomorrow and see you guys then.
Okay.
Holding up funding for housing security.
Sorry, that took me a long time. We should have gotten that conversation
Acting
earlier.
Administrator Hal McNeil
That's
says
interesting, though.
agents are sleeping